Hi. All right. Hello, hello, and welcome. It is Monday, March 25th, and we are here for the full moon eclipse, the full worm moon sacred circle. And our moon is in Libra right now. I go ahead and do a little bit of feeling the juniper today. So I'm going to burn a little juniper as I introduce myself. My name is Dory, and I live in Missoula, Montana, which is the largest city completely surrounded by the Rocky Mountains, which I was born and raised here, and then lived in Texas for 9 years, and then moved back to be closer to my family. And you can see over my shoulder is my mama. She gained her angel wings in November, and losing her has been a very huge thing for me to go through. She and I were incredibly close. I was her primary caregiver, and she was also, we're best friends and spent lots of time together. And so it has, but her gaining her angel wings has opened the door for me to have the time and space to really focus on my healing work. And my grandmother, her mother, actually came to me the day that I woke up to the news that my mom had passed in the night, and said, "You've been pouring all of your love into your mom for so long, and she had to move on so you could pour that love into yourself and your healing work." And so in January, I started my YouTube channel, Cauldron of Crafty Creations, and I go live every day with a workout. And I also do different crafts. I make handmade beautiful journals, and I haven't done any content on my crocheting yet, but I also crochet. I sew almost all of my own clothing. Just my soul is always happiest when I'm creating. I have been an author since I could hold a crayon and dictate the words to my mom. I wrote my first song at age 2, was published in a Montana history anthology at age 8, and I wrote an entire novel in middle school. So writing is one of my passions. And another one of my passions is attuning to the moon, communing with the moon, and tuning into how she um, shows up in our life, and harnessing the power of the moon um, for to create magic. And so, what I would love to do for us to start is just a little way for us to kind of play and get to know each other. So I want you to imagine if you were an ice cream, what ice cream would you be today? And so I'm going to take a second to think. All right, so I would be a waffle cone that is dipped in caramel and then sprinkles with raspberry ripple ice cream and caramel drizzled on top of it. So that's what I would be if I was an ice cream today. And the sprinkles, I don't normally like to eat sprinkles, but today is the Holi festival, Holi in India, which is the welcome of spring, which happened to land on the same day as our lunar eclipse. And so the sprinkles are my homage to the festival of colors in India. So, what kind of ice cream would you be, Calypso? Would you like to go next?
I would be banana split just because
Ooh,
that I think brings out my playful personality that I've let be hidden for way too long. And it's just a modge podge of different flavors, and that just kind of encompasses who I am. So I say banana split.
yum, lovely. And Dragon, would you like to share what kind of ice cream you would be? Oh, crema de fresca. All right. Okay. So, um, let's see. Okay, so next we're going to open our circle. So I invite you to close your eyes and get comfortable. Receive a few nice deep breaths and just come back into your body. Now follow me down the forest path. Smell the tangy scent of the pine trees. Listen to the rustling of the branches, the chatter of the squirrels, and the chirping of the birds. Immerse yourself in the peace of the forest. I invite you to leave your worries behind as we traverse the path to the clearing. Let the gentle breeze carry all thoughts of the day far away as you sink deeper into relaxation. Can you hear the crackling of the fire? Smell the smoke from our bonfire? As we enter the clearing, we fan out into a circle around the roaring fire. See the light reflected on the faces around you as we settle into our temple space. Clasp hands with those on either side of you. As we open this circle, send love and gratitude to the person on your right, knowing that it will work its way around the circle. Great Mother, we gather today in your presence. We honor you and bow in gratitude for the many blessings you bestow upon us. May you open our hearts to love. May you open our eyes to your beauty. May you open our minds to your wisdom. Breathe that in and exhale. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, stretch your body as you feel called, and come back into the room and open your eyes. So, this full moon in Libra calls us to do a couple of things. Full moons are often about that releasing and that shedding of another layer. And with the moon being in Libra, it calls us to think about what it is that we need to restore balance, right? Libra is all about the sign of the scales and finding balance. And so finding balance in ourselves, balance in the way we spend our time, balance in our relationships. And so in just a moment, we're going to do a meditation and go into meditation and think about balance and restoring balance. Before we think about restoring balance, we're going to take a few moments to reflect on and celebrate how far we've come. Because that's another thing that this moon is inviting us to do is to look at the progress that we have made on our spiritual journey. And I know was first felt called to hold circles. Oh gosh, it would have been fall, winter of 20, 2021. And I saw an ad on Facebook for a devoted circle training, and I signed up, and it was amazing. And I've been to many, many devoted circle trainings since. And so I've learned a lot about holding space and developed a lot as in my space holding and my holding circles and my connection to the moon and the goddess and the Mama Gaia. And so that's one of the things that I reflect on is how far I've come since I very first started thinking about holding my own circles. And so I would invite you to just take a few moments and think about progress that you have made. And it can be in any area of your life. What came up for me was kind of in the spiritual realm and the healing work that I've been doing, that I've really been focused on for the last probably 6 years. I've really focused on doing the inner work and healing and forgiving. Um, I had some very major trauma in my childhood, and won't go into any of that, but doing a lot of forgiveness of specifically my father, but also other forgiveness and healing as well. So forgiveness is that gift that we give to ourselves. Um, and so I'm going to give you just a few moments. I'm going to play a little music, and maybe I'm not going to play music. Forgot to set that up. So just take a few moments, and if you'd like to journal, if you'd like to write it in the chat, if you'd like to come off of mute and share, um, to figure music out once we go into. Would anyone like to share their celebration? Anything that they'd like to share, progress that they've made? There's no obligation to share. If you're comfortable, great. If you're not, that's totally fine as well.
Fair.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, for me, I went through something similar to you in 2020. I lost my mom unexpectedly. She found out she had cancer on July 17th, 2020, and she was gone by August 8th, 2020. So when it happened, it went like that. And her passing is what actually set me onto my spiritual journey. I was raised in a fundamental Christian household. So I've done a lot of breaking of indoctrination, um, spiritual or religious trauma, and on top of the trauma that I experienced, because my mom was abusive to me in my lifetime, and we had just started working through that abuse when she passed. I'd only had my mom the way I had always wanted my mom for about 6 months, and she was gone. So I've had to work through that part after her passing. And in doing so, I realized I had even more trauma in my father's area of life. And so I'm working on that currently. But just the person I am, like, I can't even look back at the person I was in 2020 and the person I am standing today and even realize we're the same human being. It's the amount of change and growth just inside me, even though the stuff around me hasn't changed, other than we moved from California to Texas in that period of time as well, which was a very big move because I grew up my entire life in California and we moved to Texas in 2021. And it it's just I I only want to continue to grow, like from where I am. Like I have said numerous times, um, January 2022 was the first time I could look at myself and see the change from the beginning of 2021 to 2022. And then the January 2023 was the first time I could see the change in myself. You know, each month, every year I see the difference that I've made in that whole year. Beforehand, it was just like same person, just different day. So I'm just proud of where I am right now. I know there's still more to go, but I'm proud of where I have been able to get myself to.
That's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that. I know it's so hard to lose a parent, and I actually my father spoke to me for the first time at my mother's celebration of life since I confronted him in 2024 about molesting me as a child. And so that was a very it's been interesting. It's been a new layer of healing of and forgiveness and shedding layers of that pain. And so I know like what you mean as far as like looking in the mirror and being like, how am I the same? How is that the same person? I mean, I feel like I've collapsed thousands of lifetimes just since my mom passed in November. And so, I can only imagine how much more that will be, when I'm a year out from that. And I know I was not raised in a fundamentalist religion. My mom was raised Catholic. And then when her father passed, her mom her mom actually, while my grandfather was alive, started exploring Christian Science. And so when I was really little, we went to the Christian Science church, which, believes that we're co-creators with God, right? And that we kind of create our own existence. And so I had kind of that. And then when my brother was born, he had an underdeveloped esophagus and was throwing up all the time. And so I couldn't leave him in the nursery at the church. So we stopped going. And so I was taught, you know, to love God, but I was also taught to think for myself. But then when I was in fifth grade, I became really good friends with two sisters who were Pentecostal. And I spent a lot of time in the Pentecostal church with them and never fully believed the teachings, but was, very much immersed in the teachings in order to spend time with them. So, and I know the the damage that those fundamentalist beliefs can do to people. So, I applaud you for breaking those chains and freeing yourself from that. That's a huge thing to undertake and to go through. So, and yes, definitely deserve to be proud. And I celebrate you too, Dragon, celebrating deepening onto your path. It's been beautiful to watch you do that within the group that we're in together. And just in the gosh, not even quite or right about a month since you joined the Moon Magic and Manifestation Portal. It's been beautiful to see those shifts in you. So definitely celebrating both of you for that shifting that you have done. And now we're going to do a little more shifting. So once again, I invite you to get comfortable and relax. We are going to do a meditation. So go ahead and get settled. Holy here, I'll put on a sweater. All right. So go ahead and settle into your seat, get comfortable. Close your eyes if that is comfortable for you. I want you to imagine yourself as a tiny version of yourself inside your head. And there is a beautiful golden elevator. And so as you approach the elevator, the doors drift seamlessly open as if the elevator knows your presence as you've arrived. And so walk into the elevator and we're going to press the emerald green heart button. And so the doors will drift closed and the elevator will begin to descend. And as the elevator is moving down, we are shifting our awareness out of our mind down into our body and our heart space. And so as the elevator is descending through your throat and your neck and down through your chest to arrive in your heart space, just releasing all thought and mind and just settling into your heart and what your body and your heart and your soul know in your heart. And so the doors to the elevator will drift open and you will walk out into the garden of your heart. And the garden of your heart is the most beautiful garden you have ever seen in your entire life, full of every flower and tree and beautiful plant and living thing that you could imagine. And your heart space is the perfect climate for every plant. And so you may see hibiscus flowering right next to lilacs. And so just take a few moments. We're going to walk down the garden path. And as we're walking through the garden, just reveling in the beauty of nature, the beauty of that heart space. We're walking towards a gazebo. And on that gazebo is just a very luxurious sofa with cushions. And so you are going to make your way over and get settled, and you're going to be visited by guides, angels, past versions of yourself. And so as these guides and angels and past versions of yourself, they may show up one at a time. There may be a group that come together. And so you are going to receive some messages. And these may be messages about where you're moving in the future. They may be messages about past versions of yourself that you are forgiving and healing and releasing. And they may be other people and situations that you are forgiving and releasing. And so I am going to play some music and I will be sending Reiki as you spend time reflecting with your guides, angels, past versions of yourself. Maybe your inner child is there with you. Maybe your future self is here with you. Reflecting on what it is that it's time to release and let flow out of your life. And whether it's thoughts, whether it's resentment that you hold over something in the past, whether it's habits, behaviors, whatever it is. So these are going to just surface for you. And as things surface, you can give loving awareness to any memories that show up. And I will be sending Reiki to your current, past, and future selves as you are communing with spirit in your heart center.
Om Dram Dream Dram Sa Shukraya Namaha. 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 Om Dram Dream Dram Sa Shukraya Sa Shukraya Namaha. Om Dram Drim Dram Sa Shukraya Namaha.
And now the goddess Oshun has come to join you. I'm going to share the message from Goddess Oshun in the Goddess Oracle deck. Let's get into the right page here. There is a universal law that centers on unrestrained generosity and flow. Oshun, the benevolent Yoruban river goddess, the representation of nourishment, healing, fertility, and prosperity, reminds you that life herself has given to you freely. You have been offered air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and shelter to sleep in. So it is your task to give freely of yourself, no matter how big or small the act, without expectation of receiving anything in return. The goddess Oshun encourages you to allow gratitude to permeate everything you do right now, even the smallest of opportunities and gestures. The very experience of giving and being generous with your heart, time, money, assistance, kindness, and care will provide more value than you can imagine. And when you release all attachment to the outcome, you will be surprised to see how the good fortune you have bestowed on others comes back to you tenfold. Oshun reminds you that this is a truth that has existed since time began and will continue until the world's very end. And so now you'll notice that it is getting dark out in the garden of your heart. And the full moon is rising on the horizon. And I invite you to take some time to commune with the moon. You may choose to stay seated in the gazebo, or you may choose to get up and walk to a spot on the grassy garden. And the way that I love to commune with the moon is I orient myself to where I am facing the moon and I throw my arms and my head back, opening my heart chakra, aligning that heart chakra just to feel the beam of the moon and any messages that the moon has to share with you. I'm going to play another song as you commune with the moon and receive any messages.
elemental being. Let's tune into everything that we're feeling. The earth beneath our feet is a firm foundation. Let your roots grow deep. You are one with creation. Soak it up. Be fully saturated. May all bodies of water be blessed and celebrated. Take a breath of this life-giving air. Let us all breathe together. It is all ours to share. We are one, all under the same sun. Fire burning within. Feel the transformation. We are evolving. Can you hear your higher self calling? Invisible power that is guiding us all. Here we are. This is our life. All elemental beings. It is this simple. I am, you are, and this is life. All elemental beings. May we be humble and give so we can live. We're all in this together and the wheel is turning. Let's live while we can live. We're all in this together and we'll all be returning to earth, water, air, fire. Let your spirit be free and take it higher. Earth, water, air, fire. Let your spirit be free and take it higher. Earth, water, air, fire. Let your spirit be free and take it higher. Earth, water, air, fire. Let your spirit be free. Sacred earth below, teach me what you know. Show me how to grow in harmony. Blooming like your flowers, embodying your powers. A firm foundation for the spirit in me. Sacred water flow, show me what you know. Teach me how to flow in harmony. Cleanse and purify my body, soul, and mind. Help me to forgive so that I can live. Sacred air I breathe gives me what I need. My force energy inside of me. Breathing through my tears, releasing all my fears. And giving me the force so that I can see. Sacred fire burn, in my heart I yearn to be free and live in harmony. Transforming with the times, burning through the light. Illuminate my vision so that I can see. Here we are, this is our life. All elemental beings, it is this simple. I am, you are, and this is life. All elemental beings, may we be humble and give so we can live. We're all in this together and the wheel is turning. Let's live while we can live. We're all in this together and we'll all be returning. Let's give so we can live. We're all in this together and the wheel is turning. Let's live while we can live. We're all in this together and we'll all be returning to earth, water, air, fire. Let your spirit be free and take it higher. Earth, water, air, fire. Let your spirit be free and take it higher. Earth, water, air.
The goddess Metis learned a painful lesson long ago and does not want you to go through the same experience. She chose to make herself small, dim her life force and inner light, and reduce her power to keep love. Who or what in your life is causing you to do the same? Do you dim yourself out of fear of reprisal or because you have a sense that you are unworthy and unlovable, or perhaps too much or too smart? Goddess Metis offers an important alignment task. You must face this fear, this anxiety, and say a resounding no. Even in the face of the greater story of cultural conditioning, be brave and courageous and ask how you can be part of the solution. Playing small is an excuse to not be accountable for your personal power and to not be effective in the world. You have an abundance of life force energy in you, so come out of the shadows and let yourself shine. Take the risk and bring your wisdom to the world. We need you. And so now we are going to find our way back to the elevator. So you're going to walk back down the garden path and find your way, meandering, taking your time, enjoying the beauty of this garden of your heart. smelling the scents of the flowers and the trees. Maybe there are birds or deer or squirrels, or maybe even, who knows? Maybe you have elephants in your garden. I don't know. So finding your way slowly back to the elevator. And when you are ready, the elevator doors will open and you will enter. And the elevator will begin to ascend, taking you back up through your chest and your throat and your neck and back into your mind. And as we leave the elevator and give great thanks to our heart for the wisdom that it carries and has shared with us. And so now that you have had some time in your heart space and reflected on what it is that maybe needs to shift or be released or forgiven, I invite you to write down 1 to 3 action steps that you can take moving in the direction that that your higher self is calling you to move. Maybe things that you're going to spend less time doing, or things you're going to spend more time doing, or conversations you need to have with someone. I don't know. Whatever action steps feel appropriate to you. And just 1 to 3, go ahead and write those down in your journal as they come to you. And I'll give you just a few moments to journal on your action steps. Okay, and then if anyone would like to share anything that any messages they received or how those meditations felt, you are welcome to share in the chat or come off of mute and share.
Sorry, I was still writing.
Oh, no, not a problem. No need to apologize.
Okay. So I wrote action steps to be seen as the person I want to be, not as the one society says I should be. While I may be heavier set than what society thinks I should be, I am still beautiful and I am still sexual and I am allowed to show those sides of me. Take a step each day in finishing the things I have started to create movement that flourishes in my life and to become the unapologetic priestess I am and share it with the world.
I love that. So beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. You are a goddess clothed in skin, and you are here to be all that you choose to be. And we are here to to help awaken the collective. And I was actually went on about this in therapy today, and my therapist was like, "Will you please make a video about that and post it?" How everything that's going on in our world right now and the capitalist machine is all there to distract us from the real work that we came here to do, which is to remember who we are and return to that love that we are and to show and shine that love. And people get so caught up in the 3D matrix and trying to figure out how to pay rent and pay their bills and get angry at each other and throw anger and hatred at each other instead of remembering that we are all love and light and that we all came here to play with the duality and experience the darkness so that we can realize how beautiful our light really is. And so I love that you are just embracing that you are this beautiful goddess and sexual goddess that came here and that you are here to be beautiful and sexual and enjoy your pleasure. And that nobody gets to tell you who you should be. So, and I applaud you for for writing down that you're going to committing to taking action steps towards committing finishing what you've started, and I am also recommitting to taking those steps and continuing to build and put my healing work into the world because I know how needed it is. And I'm so grateful that you came and that I got to meet you. Thank you to Dragon for introducing us. That was one of the things when I started my Moon Magic and Manifestation Portal membership is that I know that a lot of times we are more likely to complete something if we're doing it with a friend. And so I wanted to create a way for people to be able to bring a friend with them when they come to the events. And so so you're here for this, and then we do have our VIP after party coming up on Friday. And so the way I've been doing it is that my full moon circle, so this one, people can come and they don't pay for it, but to get the journal and come to the VIP after party, that's for my portal members. And so as Dragon's guest, you get to do those things. And just to tell you a little bit more about the membership, what it includes is it includes a circle and or meditation for every full moon and new moon, along with journals to go with those. And then the VIP after parties for anything that is a public free event. And then lifetime access to the replay. So you can go back and be like, oh, that one was really good. I want to go back and revisit that. So that's what's in the portal membership. And it's been really great to start growing this. And Luna was my first member. So of course my Moon Magic and Manifestation Portal, my first member, founding member to join is named Luna, which is of course the Spanish word for moon. So love that. And so if that's something that you're interested in joining, that that invitation is open. And other ways that you can work with me, I do private one-on-one healings, and I also have a Dory in your pocket coaching where I do coaching in the DMs and help you stay accountable to whatever those action steps are that you've created. And so helping, accountability and motivation and things like that. So those are just a couple of the ways that you can work with me if that is something that you choose to do going forward. And so now we are going to close our circle because we've all joined our energy together for this. And so I want you to picture in your mind the old-fashioned telephone, that you had to spin the numbers to get to dial. And it is currently off the hook. And so on the count of 3, we are all going to put the receiver back onto the hook and hang up that phone. And as we do that, we are disconnecting from each other's energy, closing out the circle, and returning to all of our energy to ourselves. So we will do that at 3, 2, 1. Hang up the phone and disconnect the circle. And I will go ahead and stop the recording.